Rev and Hero Hey are basically the Fox News of VTubers and that I was CNN. Jiggle, 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 jiggle. Recently on on May 13th, a new member has joined the Vshojo family. Their name is Henya. I actually watched part of their debut, and she was certainly very fun to watch. Yes, there are rumors going around that she is the same as a previous VTuber, but here's the thing, a lot of VTuber commentators have also been commenting on this, some of them being quite explicit about naming Pikami. And the thing is, it is actually considered quite taboo in the VTuber fandom to, refer to VTubers' past lives, especially regarding their debut. But I mean, I really don't get the impression that Rev cares about the VTuber fandom. He just likes sharing his thoughts about VTubers. And I've got issues with this narrative because they don't really specify they, is it? They just say people who called Pikami transphobic for mentioning wanting to play Hogwarts Legacy, which I don't personally think is transphobic. It's a pretty dumb argument in my eyes. But let's see what Rev has to say. I'm gonna turn up your audio just in case. Hey, Trexie. Fuck!
So the months of February and March feel like a fever dream to many because they can't comprehend the levels of harassment that streamers, in particular VTubers, faced for simply wanting to play Hogwarts Legacy. And one of the people that faced this harassment campaign was Pikami, who unfortunately graduated at the beginning of March. Now, for many, they thought that was the last time they were going to see Pikami in action, but ladies and gentlemen, it appears that we got the good ending because late last night, the VTuber...
The good ending? Bro. Pikami's... I'm sorry. Henya is on the fucking content grind, yo. She was negotiating contracts and didn't like what was it, BMOS offered her? She likes what Vshojo offered. So that's why we have Henya, okay? Okay. Oh, you're in one of his videos too? Hey! I put out a video about it. I put out a video about my, thing about it. Yeah, I don't think Rev is actually that dumb to make that jump. I think he's got biases that he's not really entirely open about.
Henya made her debut stream for Vshojo. Now, this has been in motion for a couple of days, and many people predicted the very real possibility that Henya would be played by the...
Wait. That tweet that you had made regarding Silvervale Part 3 was in a Rev video and a Hero Hey video? Wow. Can you link me those? I want to check those out in the future.
Same person responsible for Pikami. And well, it turns out that they were right, because without a shadow of a doubt, it is Pikami. I mean, you'll never get an official confirmation from Vshojo or Henya on this situation, but pretty much within the first seconds of her speaking on her stream, it became abundantly clear that this is Pikami. And here's just a quick clip of her thanking everyone for coming to the stream. It's very obvious that it's Pikami.
Hello, I'm Henya! Thank you so much for coming to my debut stream today. どうも今日は初配信に来てくれてありがとうございました。
Yeah, I mean, if the voice wasn't obvious enough, I mean, just so happened to hire a VTuber who's fluent in English and Japanese, who comes after about 2 months after Pikami's graduation.
Yeah, It's almost like she didn't like the one agency and moved on to another. And you're just kind of highlighting the trans hate that gets sent to everybody. Wait, you were in this video? I don't think I watched this one. But I covered Silvervale and
For cis woman tears.
oh yeah, I remember John's tweet there. Oh, you actually personally know John? I know people that know him. Don't know why it did that timestamp. Ad might have actually been because I already been watching. Oh wait, no, that isn't like an actual timestamp, isn't it? Weird. Maybe it just auto-clicked it. But yeah, this guy loves Rev here loves talking about well, Twitter freaks. And he says that issues that cause post-release status. I'm not sure what you're referring to there, Grendel. And I forgot what I was saying about Rev. But all I know is dude's got biases he's pushing.
It is definitely Pikami. There is no
Oh yeah, there were definitely people that were calling her transphobic in her streams before she graduated. But I'm just saying her graduation isn't a part of that, isn't directly related to, what's it? Wasn't directly related to the harassment she got. My opinion of Pikami is that she noticed the harassment, but she's an adult and on the content grind, and in order to maximize her public image, she can't really engage with that shit, especially under contract. People wanted an excuse? Yeah, pretty much. Trans people, is that the people who harassed her weren't even trans people? They were just conservatives from 4chan creating black propaganda. Yeah, no, literally. I was sent screenshots of like 2-3 different people giving or saying that Pikami was transphobic in her chat. I looked up one of the accounts, or I looked up the accounts because it was all on YouTube, and one of the accounts was no longer around. The other account only had one video of a dead bird. Yeah, that's really somebody that advocates for progressive rights. It's a fucking 4chan op. But screenshots can be doctored. Yeah. Yeah. They don't care about actually addressing the nuance of the situation. They're just
doubt there.
They're
And
just
of course, thousands and thousands of people are extremely excited about this opportunity to see Pikami streaming under a new VTuber model.
Bro, just please refer to her as Henya. That's who she is. Even if the same person portrayed Pikami and Henya, again, it is quite disrespectful to VTuber fandoms to actually keep referring to the past life of a current VTuber. It's disrespectful.
But of course, you've read the title. The Twitter freaks are
Oh.
extremely angry over this set of developments.
No,
So
that was the
official
first time I
post
watched
from
that video on stream.
Vshojo is the one that got the most hates. You can see the number of quote retweets. There are the usual suspects, the Twitter freaks, who are the same people harassing and threatening Pikami only months ago, have returned to do the same, this time directing towards her latest project.
Okay, you know what? You like to highlight the harassment. Let's see what actually was harassment, or because like if people are just being outright cunts, I'm gonna condemn them with you. But if it's like a vague post mentioning trans people, that just makes you look phobic, Rev. Like seriously. I mean, it's annoying as hell when thousands of people just said Henny is pick me. Like, for fuck's sake, stop. Let people have their new name, model, and go with that. Right?
Under Henya, and it is quite
Yeah, I don't know what he's saying either, Trexie.
the ride, and the narrative hasn't changed, right? They're still unsure of themselves because when you rewrite narratives so many times, they kind of don't know where they sit. So a lot of these quote retweets are
Like the stuff I've seen from you regarding your stances, and then the other stuff I've seen from you regarding your stances. People change, people can flip flop. It's not the greatest thing, but shut the fuck up.
saying that she was never harassed. And then there's some quote
It's
retweets
legit the
saying,
same
well, she
like
was
people
harassed.
transitioning. Actually, yeah, no, that's a very good point. Because like VTubers are representations of the person, whether or not it's a corporate VTuber or a indie VTuber, it's still regarding or referring to the person as who they used to be, who they no longer wish to present as or identify as. It's like, can you really not see how that's disrespectful when somebody is like, hey, this is who I am, and then you're like, Pick-a-me is back. Like, shut the fuck up, please. Just simple fact that people change themselves and how they want to represent themselves. Yeah, that's true.
But that wasn't the reason she graduated. And then other people saying that nothing happened. This was all just a money grab.
That nothing happened and that it was a money grab? Is that you straw manning the she was on the content grind argument? I know you like to straw man you like to straw man arguments you can't contend with because that's what you did with mine.
A new opportunity that the harassment was just education. None of this stuff mattered. Well, you're going to see a lot of coping and jealousy from these Twitter freaks. And before we get into it, I mean, here's just a snapshot of some.
Yeah, she's not transphobic, so don't call her that. Oh, with regards to the wizard game, and then it's a still image. What? Is that hidden because... Oh, I got harassed for playing the wizard game. Shut up, shut up. Shut up, suck it up. I mean, I'm gonna be real. It doesn't matter what you're actually... It's the same picture they keep bringing up. That's what conservatives like to do. It's fucking like Big Red. Why they keep using Big Red in their thumbnails. Because they find one thing and then they stick to it. But I don't even know if I actually went over the pick-a-me stuff. Yeah, that's a shit take, personally. Well, not necessarily shit. It's a hyperbolic take. It's not exactly wrong. I mean, Henya really is picking me. She's gone for a good while because she wanted to leave, get herself better, and like people pushed. What? She was gone. I mean, if Hen really is picking me, she was gone for like a couple months. It's a thing. And like, they're using any excuse they really can to... Wait, you fucking mook? This is the exact same tweet. And you just virtue signaling, hiding the name of don't harass these people because we're better than them. And then it's, dude. Like, yeah, a lot of people... Pick-a-me didn't rebrand. Pick-a-me graduated. So it's actually disrespectful to talk about Pick-a-me because we're talking about Henya, a different VTuber. Wink, wink. Like, I watched Kyo's video on Pick-a-me. Or not Pick... Fuck! Even I'm doing it. Because these fuckers are infectious with their bullshit. How many times you gonna bring up Maxie in your screenshots, by the way? Like, it, but yeah, Henya is a new VTuber with Vshojo. And people are all like, well, she sounds exactly the same as Pick Me, so basically confirmed. Yeah, I kind of get that vibe too, Rudy. It's like, do you really care about talking about Pick Me or talking about Henya? Or do you care about making trans people look bad because you disagree with opinions? Or is there something underlying that Rev doesn't want to talk about?
Some of the harassment that Pikami has faced. Feel free to use this screenshot if you want.
Hey, leaving it. Who were they? There were two people from VMOS that actually confirmed that Pikami had planned to graduate before this stuff. Is Rev going to mention that part? Yeah, there is that conflation of playing the game with J.K. Rowling's views, which is personally a dumb take.
If people are going to dispute that she was harassed, I mean, this is only like 10% of the screenshots I have from all throughout my videos, but I just want to fit something decent onto the screen here.
I'd also like to point out that you've hidden a lot of the like counts, and this harassment campaign gets a lot of small like counts. This one's pretty bad, but like, come on, man. Your videos get hundreds of thousands of views, tens of thousands of likes. Who's got the harassment campaign? Really? Rev, come on.
But yeah, let's begin with the first quote retweet here. I like this one because it's pretty telling of all the other kinds of stuff we're going to see. So this person said, those losers who spent ages harassing trans people for mildly criticizing Pikami into retirement over the wizard game, only for it to turn out she was literally just getting a better job. So yeah, again, the narrative of it's mild criticism when she was getting death threats and called transphobic and harassed by thousands. It was just mild criticism.
Getting called transphobic is mild criticism. It's like calling me a Karen. Like, what? Yeah, what death threats? You're showing all the harassment of the trans or by the Twitter freaks, and you're saying there's death threats. I didn't see death threats. Come on.
Criticism for playing a game, which, by the way,
but she did receive harassment over it. I'm not going to deny that.
Nothing wrong with playing Hogwarts Legacy. Nobody playing Hogwarts Legacy is automatically a transphobe. We've been over that a million times. But the idea also of these people being losers for not liking someone being harassed into potential graduation is pretty crazy. But again,
Rev, even you yourself have admitted that it was already announced before she started getting harassed that she was going to graduate. I honestly don't think the harassment had anything to do with it speeding up a graduation. I think Pikami is more of an I think Henya is more of an adult than you because Henya doesn't need to, fester in this harassment that you profit off of.
Again, they don't really understand what their narrative is here. I mean, this person's saying that it's really the trans people who are being harassed and that she only got mild criticism. Well, we'll see that being disputed.
Okay, hey Rev, have you ever really looked into the kind of responses that mild takes get over mentioning Hogwarts Legacy? Trans people had their info posted on Soyjack Party. Yeah, I know. And I still gotta make that video. I talked with Senven a while back, but I haven't had contact with her in a while. She's kind of gone dark, but I need to put out that video. Like, holy fuck. Did Pikami get swatted multiple times? And a friendly reminder, we don't refer to people's past lives. Just saying.
And also this whole
Len, please.
just getting a better job as a narrative. We're going to see a lot. I have a couple
A narrative? Rev, she's a corpo VTuber. She's focusing on the job.
quote retweets towards the end of the video, but we'll look at those soon. But here's another one saying, Pikami has returned and you Pikami fans turning into huge transphobes and sending death threats to me for saying trans right literally meant nothing to you in the end. So a fresh reminder, trans are human rights. So this to me is funny because Twitter freaks can't understand that two things can't exist at once. So on the one hand, trans rights, okay, that's good. Trans rights, support that.
Holy shit, he actually said that.
But also, you can at the same time support people not getting harassed over a video game.
Like the trans people.
This doesn't exist in a vacuum. You can believe in both of those things at the same time.
Yes, that's absolutely true. And you can also present one side of the narrative to really show who's being the aggressor. When in reality, it did go both ways, and it got a lot worse for one side. But you don't really want to properly discuss what the nuance of the situation. You don't even think there is nuance, do you?
Like, again, this might shock the people who are upset with me over these videos. I don't support transphobia, and I don't support people resorting to transphobia and blaming trans people specifically for everything that happened.
And yet, you simply put out the memes of remember what they took from you. That broadly condemns the trans community because people don't think Twitter freaks as specific bad individuals of a community. Instead, what that actually does is condemn the entire community. Oh, Rev even got you too, Rudy? Yeah, he didn't lock out my name either. He doesn't actually give a shit.
Like,
it's a fucking virtue signal.
It's the Twitter freaks. It's people who harass others over video games that are to blame for the fact that she was harassed over playing Hogwarts Legacy. And you can still believe trans rights while saying it's wrong to harass people over video games. Like, I don't understand the point of this. Like, every time we saw this with the harassment campaign in February, March, people respond to those being exposed as bullying people over the game, and they just start screeching trans rights. And it's like, okay, trans rights. Now what? Is it?
Yeah, honestly, people are really mad at Silvervale for the unintentional connection of Twitter freaks. And the trans rights, that was fucking co-opted by bad actors to just condemn trans people without actually talking about the real sense of bias and distaste against Rev from you. I'm gonna be honest, I have one. I don't like the narratives and prescriptions he puts out. I am quite biased against Rev.
Is it okay that they're bullying people? It doesn't change anything. So moving on, here's a familiar face from the previous harassment campaign. This VTuber saying, so like it's confirmed she's Pikami. This means, as usual, the
It's the old times when Rev was posting anime and VTuber memes besides his drama videos. Like the video where Pikami played GTA 5 and refused to save. That would be kind of funny to watch, actually. But like all I've been seeing out of Rev is narrativization of drama.
The transphobes are wrong. It had nothing to do with Hogwarts Legacy. She was in discussions for a better contract, almost as if stuff happens behind the scenes people don't know about, and blaming one group is effing stupid. So there's a lot to unpack here, a lot of coping and deflecting. So
Yes, Rev also defends lollies quite much so. Yeah, I know. Can't Henya just have her goofy streams? He's a Fox News of VTube news and drama. I know, right?
again,
I wonder how long ago was his content more about the anime memes and less about the drama?
depending on who you claim are the transphobes in this situation, the people who were pointing out that she was being harassed over this game were not proven wrong just because she's come back under a new VTuber model. Like, it doesn't take away the fact that she was bullied and harassed. And this
No, but people are using that harassment that she received as an excuse to go even harder against trans people. Like, you mentioned death threats towards her, but can you please show them? Or at least leave a link in your description? No. Because of course not.
to say that it had absolutely nothing to do with Hogwarts Legacy
It's true.
is ridiculous. We all agree that she was contemplating graduating before she ever made any post about Hogwarts Legacy. But it's very clear based on the circumstances and the words of Vom's project, their use of sudden in a lot of their graduation announcements, that this whole harassment campaign, it sped up her graduation. It made things unfold quicker, telling me it did have an impact on her graduation. And at the end of the day, you know what? Even if it is true,
I'm guilty of this too, but can you please show?
let's say the harassment campaign had nothing to do with her graduation. So what are you left with? You harass someone over a video game? Is that better?
Was this person in a video harassing Pikami? Because your framing right there is saying they did. That's why people think you're transphobic, because you're outright denying the stuff that's actually going on. Or not exactly outright denying, but you're frankly strawmanning.
It just didn't impact her graduation. Still, she was harassed over a video game. That doesn't make it okay whether it had a small role, no role, or big role in her graduation. And this whole thing about having discussions for a better contract, how do you know that? How do you know when
Do you think Henya is such a child that she wouldn't argue for better contracts for her fucking job? Give her some agency.
that took place? Did it take place 5 months ago? Did it take place 3 weeks ago? We don't know.
Literally. Yeah, are there people who harass Henya? Of course. Yeah, literally every content creator has to deal with it, no matter how friendly, no matter how nice, no matter how perfect your designs can possibly be. Popularity breeds contempt. That's just kind of a fact. But, like, I haven't actually gotten the impression that Henya has been really bothered by it. She's been more focused on, doing her job of being an entertainer. Like everybody gets harassment. And yeah, Trexie, like, you've gotten some bad stuff sent towards you for pretty innocuous things for simply mentioning Hogwarts Legacy. Like, oh my god, they deleted the tweet like shortly after they made it, but I still saved a notification of somebody leaving a comment under a screenshot I had of a comment to one of my videos, basically saying they were glad that they found my channel during the Hogwarts Legacy stuff, and that Rev and Hero Hey are basically the Fox News of VTubers, and that I was CNN. So I had a laugh with that, and I posted a screenshot to Twitter, and then somebody replied with, getting pissy about, why are you so pissy about Hogwarts Legacy still? And then they reread the comment, and they were like, oh, that's not actually getting pissy about Hogwarts Legacy. It's just referencing that it was a discourse that happened.
No, but as you said, these things happen behind the scenes, and people don't know, and blaming one group. How do you get to go out here and say that it had nothing to do with Hogwarts Legacy? She was already in discussions for a better contract, while also saying we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You're just saying whatever fits your narrative, and it's pretty obvious. And
I mean, we all do that. Even you, Rev.
blaming one group is effing stupid. I'll agree that it's completely stupid to blame trans people for this whole situation, but I will blame one group, and that is Twitter freaks. I will blame them. People who harass people like Pikami for simply wanting to stream a game were wrong, and they are to blame for all of this. They're to blame for the harassment campaign. They're to blame for speeding up her graduation. But the jealousy among VTubers
That, I'm gonna be honest, that was a very vague description. Like, can't. Can you just not, you broadly condemn people? Comparing someone to Fox or CNN isn't a punishment. I wish upon my worst enemy. I had actually sent that screenshot to a friend of mine, and she was like, "Hey, you're MSNBC." Oh, I love good roasting, but still, I don't know. Like, the Twitter freaks label is directly tied to trans people because it was coined over it was coined by Silvervale for being harassed for Hogwarts Legacy. I also feel like Rev isn't trying to explain things or help anyone in the situation. I kind of don't think they care about Henny either. Well, if he was making like meme videos about them before, he might actually legit be a fan. I'm not calling that into question, honestly. What I am calling into question and agreeing with you on is I don't think he's trying to explain things properly either, or really trying to address how to make the situation better. Like, so far, all I'm really seeing is him pointing out harassment and being harassment bad, Twitter freaks bad. Yeah, honestly, I think Rev just doesn't really give a fuck about it. It's just what generates the clicks, and can I blame him? No, I'm a drama channel too.
would not end. So this user was saying not directed at Kyo while quote retweeting him, the YouTuber Kyo. This VTuber go on to say, there's no effing way Vshojo hired a lolicon. My bad night just got worse. Plus, that avatar looks like a mishmash ripoff of Miku Yokari and V4 Stardust plus Mayu plus V-Flower. And they go on to say,
Plus help, plus
sorry for
ratio.
bringing in comparisons, but I have zero respect for an artist who wasted an excellent design on an effing lolicon. I would have rather have anyone else except Sayu and that other pedo bigot over Pikami. So not only is she calling Pikami a bigot and a pedo. She's also calling Sayu, who is very familiar with Zion, who just was terminated by Niji Sanji. That's not a very good look, throwing around words like that with absolutely no proof and watering them down to the benefit of actual predators. But going on, the jealousy.
Wait, what happened with Zion? Was Zion a predator? What? But Rev said in a video when he said Twitter freaks, he meant people who are on Twitter and don't know how to think with common sense. That could honestly be fair. But regardless of Rev's stance of it, it's the people that watch his content and then just run with their own narratives as well. And I will give Rev credit. I think he's smart. His fans are not. They don't fully understand or any nuance that he has, because I will admit he has some nuance. But his fans don't get it. And like, where was I going with this? Right. And then his fans just know that Twitter freaks bad because they harass people in the name of trans rights. So that kind of just opens the gateways for that transphobia to flow, and it's seen as a passive acceptance if you don't do anything about it. Like, that's why a lot of people call Silverveil transphobic, because she made the Twitter freaks response, the emotional response, where she said Twitter freaks, and then people just kind of kept running with it. Yeah, I will say that content creators aren't completely responsible for their fans, but I mean, you can still show that you're working on your community, and if you see people denouncing others in that way, you can explicitly and performatively deject them from your community so that other people that share those views will be like, oh, I actually care that Silverveil likes. I actually care if Silverveil likes me, and if she's saying don't attack trans people, maybe I won't do that. Honestly, I haven't really looked into Silverveil too much recently, but from what I do know of, she wanted to play Hogwarts Legacy, and the drama started because she prides herself on being a comfy streamer, and people in her chat were like, if you stream that game, I wouldn't be comfy in your community because that game supports transphobia, which I honestly think is a bad argument. But I don't want to get too much into that. We're only like 10 minutes into the video, and I'm supposed to be having a conversation in 10 minutes. Oh my god, I shouldn't have planned for a Rev video when I have other things planned.
Is very obvious here, and this whole concept of them being angry about a lolicon joining Vshojo is just.
Wait, what? Funniest thing that happened to me is when the whole thing, an adult account sent me a death threat. Funniest part was the adult account posted trans adult content. Really? Huh. Like, that is batshit logic.
Chef's kiss. It is hilarious. Some people are like,
have I done a good job? Have I done a good job?
I think it's hilarious. I think it's the funniest thing ever that a massive lolicon is joining Vshojo, an agency that has a large portion of their fan base that are antis, and in fact, one of their biggest talents was an anti who is now left the agency. So, like, originally I would be like, well, what did Redacted think about the fact that Henya just retweeted this lolicon? What would Redacted think? Well, we don't have to worry about what Redacted thinks because she's gone. And it's hilarious. It's like we've come a long way. We have a Vshojo talent openly retweeting lolicon with a lolly model and coming from a former talent that was known for being one. And it's truly poetic. I think it's hilarious, and maybe this is a turn of things for Vshojo as a whole. But
oh
like
yeah,
people
that's
have
true.
pointed out, they've been making these comparisons with Henya and Fruit, and they've been trying to pit these two against each other because Silvervale, many people believe that Silvervale was thrown under the bus by Fruit because she tried to make that trans charity and also said that everyone makes mistakes while referring to Silvervale being harassed over Hogwarts Legacy. Well, here
Oh my god, there's a lot to go into that, but I'm gonna not.
they are, Fruit making not only artwork for her featuring her lolly model, but also
True, Fruit doesn't deserve the hate.
having this nice interaction here. Like, clearly things are very cordial and nice between them and welcoming. So, you know, anyone trying to put those people against each other are really just grasping for controversy at this point. But here's the same.
I'm just gonna say that we don't actually know if Henya is a petite body type, and if she does have that petite body type, I can't really condemn her for wanting to have art of her own body type. I have an issue with the people that just flippantly spread that art that don't really know of Henya. They just see that body type, and that's where their train of thought ends. That's my problem with lolicon. Not that there are lolly VTubers. Like, oh my god. But you know, I'm an anti, so I get roped in with all them haters.
Person. This is unfortunate. Remember they were talking about ripoffs and ugly models and things like that.
This is the same person that had like 2 likes on the previous tweet. How is this a campaign? It could just be one person mad about a flat-chested petite model.
Here's their post adding the
Yeah, I know. She had Fruit had like a charity because someone she knew was trans. So she did a charity stream during the Hogwarts Legacy discourse. And people took that as you're taking sides with the Twitter freaks.
coats.
Because, you know, people associate Twitter freaks with all trans people. Oh my god. Who saw that one coming?
Onto the list. Here's their reference sheet.
So?
I got nothing.
What's the issue?
I got nothing to say. And this is for Rushia, by the way. I will say nothing. But moving on, more V.
So that's just a petty dig at somebody you don't like that had a couple likes on a tweet? Come on, aren't you supposed to be an adult, Rev? Seriously.
VTubers being angry about the situation. So this one saying, wait, Pigamy wasn't bullied into graduating by trans people, and transphobes simply wanted an easy community to blame? I am shocked. Shocked, I tell you. Well, again, if people use this as an excuse for transphobia, they're wrong. But here's the thing, talking about an easy community to blame, Twitter freaks went after anyone who was streaming this game, and they picked their targets, basically trying to go after the people they get the most clout from, people like Silvervale and Pigamy. And they use them as a scapegoat to justify their bullying and harassing because they believe that they were doing the right thing, that they were educating and making valid criticisms. But at the end of the day, it amounted to dogpiling, harassment, threats, and even doxing in some cases. So again, we're deflecting.
What? Doxing. I thought wasn't like Silvervale or Pigamy doxed? I never actually saw any dox information. Like, not even censor. Like, I don't want to see the actual information. I don't care. Like, Pigamy actually was doxed? Huh. That's not fucking cool. You don't dox people.
Blame, but this whole concept of being shocked, I guess, isn't anything new. So this person saying, damn, that's crazy. So you're telling me all these Pigamy fans became Nazis for nothing? Color me shocked. How much this word has been watered down is amazing. So yeah, last time I checked, Nazis didn't have an agenda that called for anti-harassment. Last time I
Okay. So, for starters, the Nazis did claim they were the victims of the Jews, and that's what justified their stuff. Please look into history, Rev. Please.
Checked. Nazis didn't believe in the right for someone to play Hogwarts Legacy free of harassment. This
Rev. Oh my god. This has nothing to do with this.
is so sad to see that this term continues to get watered down. I mean, you're a Nazi for anything nowadays, but yeah, we're not exactly surprised that Twitter freaks would resort to that kind of reach. But
Not even a single like with this tweet. Not even a single like. You know, organized. How is this organized? How is this organized instead of trans people just being mad? Also, regarding to people saying they're calling people a lot of Nazis, there's a lot of Nazis in the world if you know your history and Nazi ideology. If you can see those patterns, oh, they're common. They're common.
moving on, this is another thing, the level of entitlement here. Hey,
I don't know. Nazi's not a banned word in my chat.
transphobe, I'll wait for your apology here. What apology? What changed by the fact that she is now under a new Vtuber model and working with a new agency? Who has to apologize?
Remember what they took from you. People like Curry Ringy shared the exact same meme that you did, even though you claim you're not friends with him. You shared that exact same thing, and then people like Curry Ringy used that as a excuse to start posting more get the guns memes. And yeah, he did post at least one meme where he wasn't going to harm the trans people that were on his side regarding Hogwarts Legacy, but it was still broadly, we're going after this group of people and just saying Twitter freaks. What changes? A bunch of trans people had to stop streaming, taking breaks, quit, and in some cases had to move. Yep.
It's not that, her moving on isn't erasing everything that happened. She was still harassed and threatened over trying to play Hogwarts Legacy. The fact that she picked herself up and moved on and continued her career
shows that she's more of an adult than you are because you keep going on about it. Because I wouldn't have seen like most of these tweets had you not signal boosted them in your video. Just saying, Rev.
is a great thing. It shows her tenacity. It doesn't erase everything that happened. I mean, would these people be happy if she just, basically got harassed and then just kind of laid down on the ground for the rest of her life and never came back to content creation?
No, you're supposed to be an adult and go on with your life because you're going to get harassed anyways. It's going to be over any sort of mundane shit that people don't like about you.
So her returning has really nothing to do with you. It's about herself and wanting to entertain people and not letting Twitter freaks.
Doesn't want to be related to her past life / model name, but people keep pushing for zero reason other than attention or more likely harassment. Yeah, it's almost like people just want to keep bringing up Henya's past life because they have biases that they want to push. At least I'm open about my biases. Question me on it, call me on it, I will answer.
Bully her into moving on from that. But, this level of I told you so's doesn't end. This person predicting that if this new VTuber ends up being Pikami, you can tell those bad faith transphobes to go eat a rock. And then, of course, when it was announced, this person said, hey, transphobic is F Pikami fans, you owe me a pizza, haha. And then, of course, transphobes in the replies still seething because they'll never admit they're horrible people. Oh, the irony of this statement. Wow. It's almost like people who harass others don't realize they're horrible people, right?
Introspection Level 1000. Oh my god.
People resorting to transphobia, yeah, they're bad people. But also people who are harassing Pika-me over wanting to play Hogwarts Legacy, also bad people. Again, two things can exist at once, right? There are multiple layers of bad people. Both extremes on each side tend to be bad people, right? If they're harassing others over being trans or they're harassing people over playing a video game. Those are both bad things, okay? And the irony of Twitter freaks like this not realizing that they're on the kind of the same kin of making bad mistakes and mistreating other people over things that people shouldn't be attacked over. Yeah, there's no self-awareness at all. But
Yep, especially I will say, especially the people that throw the label of Twitter freaks onto other people. Cause like I don't think that a lot of the stuff that people get hate over is even related to Hogwarts Legacy anymore beyond people are still butthurt. Like seriously, it doesn't we don't need to keep talking about it. I thought people didn't want to keep talking about it because it just spreads bad blood. But no, there's 20 minutes of let's talk about Hogwarts Legacy again. Even though he's put out in a video that I don't even want to talk about Hogwarts Legacy, but the Twitter freaks are making me do it or some shit like that.
moving on, another tweet here saying, so Henya just debuted for Vshojo and it's literally just Pika-me, which means the entire Hogwarts fiasco had literally no effect on Pika-me graduating after all. Like sane people assumed. Yes, the sane people among the Twitter freaks knew this had nothing to do with it. Again, just like I pointed out earlier with that VTuber. So what you're saying is she was harassed and bullied, but it...
No, unironically, within like the first month of Hogwarts Legacy, it dropped so drastically. Like, oh my god. I'm gonna pull it up. Just in case my Google search is bad. Hogwarts Legacy release watch time. Hogwarts Legacy Twitch watch time. Fuck, there was a graph on it. Can't remember. Not Twitch drops. Fuck, I can't remember where to see it. But like, God, there was a massive drop. Like, there were hundreds of thousands of people, I think, watching it. But then they stopped after like a few weeks because, well, there were people that pushed their narrative of I hate I hate Harry Potter, but I hate the Twitter freaks more. And that was literally just a clout farm in my eyes. That's just expressing hate. That's all I can really see coming out of people that call others Twitter freaks. Like, I get roped into the Twitter freaks label too. People are like, eat the rich and then just bought a $60 game because they want to be edgy. Yeah, right? Exactly.
didn't impact her graduation. That's your saving grace. That's the way you try to absolve people of guilt and deflect valid criticism that says don't bully people. You just say, well, she was bullied, but it didn't impact her graduation, so it was okay. No, it wasn't okay. It was never okay. And no matter what its role it played in her graduation, it doesn't make the harassment campaign. And clearly,
They didn't say that it made it okay. They didn't say that, Rev. You really like to strawman people, don't you?
people like this haven't learned anything because they're continuing to do it. But here's another one from a artist in training saying, cool, so can all the transphobes just shut up now? Beside, they were dead wrong. What are they wrong about? What?
Remember what they took from you. As if she was never going to come back because she was harassed off the platform. Maybe it's like that didn't happen. Huh.
Everyone keeps saying this because they're wrong. What did people get wrong? She was harassed. Her coming back somehow absolve all the bullies attacking her and everything just goes away. That's not how this narrative is going to be shifted. And I'm going to be here to remind people that those harassment campaigns still happen, and regardless of the level that role played, and regardless of whether these VTubers have returned under new accounts, doesn't take any of that away. But moving on, this person saying Pikami was just changing companies, but her fans will insist it was the evil trans people that made her graduate.
Ooh, I wonder how he's going to respond to this one. Oh, this one actually got pretty decent traction. Look at that.
So this whole like changing companies narrative, remember we were talking about don't blame it on one thing? Well, they're blaming it all on this change to the company, that she was chasing the bag, and that this was all part of the plan. Well, again, nobody knows what's inside the mind of this person and her decisions, especially business decisions, and I'm hardly surprised that people are trying to spin this narrative of, well, she was always leaving for Vshojo, so none of this matters.
That's not how they're spinning the narrative. That's not why we say that she was on the content grind. We say that because she ended up leaving Bombs because, you know, I'm willing to bet she didn't like the contract. She didn't like the compensation for her work she's putting in, so she left the company. Like any reasonable person does. That's an adult. I'm starting to develop a bias against Rev Strawman just from this video reaction. Wait, agreeing or disagreeing with me? I'm curious.
I mean, I'm not really surprised to see that, but yeah, you'll see right here more tweets like that. Another VTuber saying, so you're telling me people were harassing trans people for no reason when really Pikami graduated to chase that bag. Yeah, what a nice way to absolve all the Twitter freaks of harassing people, because she was chasing that bag. Just because she was going out for money, it's okay to harass her because she was trying to get...
They're not saying that it was okay to harass. That's not what those tweets said. Rev, please.
Get something financially out of it, so it's okay. Don't worry about it, guys. Obviously, that's a pretty bad excuse for all the harassment. But moving on, again, those never forget what they took from you people are sure looking stupid right now when their parasocial relationship gets shown up to be less important than chasing the bag. So
Oh, the Google Trends. A lot of new stuff when have come out and people switched focus. Yeah. People assume Hendra graduated so she could move to a new company. Exact. Like, chasing the... I'm just running in circles, repeating myself, honestly.
So what this person is trying to say is that...
Oh, yes, please tell me what they are trying to say.
She doesn't care about her fans because she was chasing the bag. That's what she was doing. If she was chasing the bag, why would she come back to Vshojo? She would have been...
Come back to Vshojo. She moved to Vshojo. We don't know if she had planned to go with Vshojo since before leaving Bombs. What we do know is that she graduated on a planned time frame and had a goodbye stream to her fans. And people like you are saying, remember what they took from you. And all the nuance that gets explained with that is Pikami was called transphobic. That's the level of nuance you go with. So, yeah, as far as I'm concerned, this video and the content I see from Rev is just drama mongering. I'm a drama tuber. He's a drama monger. I would love to talk with him, but, you know, He probably wouldn't talk with me.
An independent, probably. That'd probably be the most financially beneficial version, but clearly, maybe she just likes having an organization around her. Like I've said, some people, agencies and corporations are not a good fit for them, but maybe Pikami just really enjoyed having the structure and overhead, and she wanted to go to Vshojo. Maybe she has friends in the organization and wants to be a part of a greater group of people. We don't.
Oh, I'm not actually trying to get in contact with Rev. I sent him a DM regarding my coverage of his defense of that lolly smasher pass, and that was the only DM I sent to him. I also added him in one tweet saying, fuck, what was it? Thanks for shouting me out in your video. I would love to see if I'm in one of his videos again. That would be amazing to me. But aside from that, it's my stuff is all grandstanding because I don't think he actually even would give a shit about talking to me, no matter how big I am.
I don't know that, but it seems like she wanted to be at Vshojo because she had the power to go anywhere she wanted, and she chose that, and the best we can do is respect that, but that's not simply chasing the bag, it's chasing the best fit for her and her fans, because they're going to follow her anywhere she goes.
Bro, that's chasing the bag. Chasing the bag is getting the best job for you. Her fans are going to follow her anywhere she goes. That's kind of how it goes as being a giant content creator. Like, how do you not understand this, Rev? Or do you understand this and you're just trying to make people you don't like look bad? Is that it? I don't know. We don't know because he doesn't really talk about it too much. And, I really don't think he would actually talk with me.
To minimize all of this, that chasing the bag is ridiculous. And of course, you can't go 2 seconds without bringing up a parasocial relationship. Just because you don't want to see someone get harassed doesn't mean you're parasocial, by the way.
Ooh, did you take that personally? I think you took that personally.
I know that's a shocking concept, but yeah. Moving on to the next one. This one's saying, of course Henya is Pikami. F all the transphobes who are blaming it on the Wizard game situation. Of course her graduation had nothing to do with it. She was chasing the bag. Basically, I've replied to every single part of this, but I thought this was a good one to end on. It pretty much captures all of the delusional and deflecting tactics that these Twitter freaks are resorting to. And
deflecting tactics, huh? Rev, you're so adorable.
It's just been a whole lot of coping and seething, and here's Henya's account. Things are going very, very well. The stream was very fun. It was
a lot of fun.
Awesome to see her back, and she has been welcomed with overwhelmingly positive open arms. We get bogged down in all of the Twitter freaks and negative things they're saying, but
I wonder who keeps bringing up and showcasing the anger that a few accounts that get a handful of likes, the biggest number of likes that you've shown so far is 250. And I mean, your video has 10,000 views, or 10,000 likes, not views, likes. So really, who is the one causing the problem with the drama? Who really is it?
The overall reaction was one of excitement and happiness, and people welcoming back this great talent that they have missed, and she will clearly fit in very well at Vshojo, and the fact that she speaks both English and Japanese will make her a very versatile fit for their organization. She can work with both the Japan and English sides of things, and that'll be really cool because she's been a very good bridge for bringing a lot of Japanese talents over to English-speaking audiences because of her capabilities, and I think she's going to have a great time at Vshojo. The model looks awesome, by the way, and yeah, same old Pikami, just a new face, and the fans are very lucky. We're all very lucky. So that's going to do it for this video. Please share all of your thoughts about these related situations.
Oh, don't worry, Rev. I will. Honestly, I don't think I really have any more afterthoughts to add to this. Going over a Rev video is kind of like, I'm stopping every 5 minutes to rant and bitch. Surely it's not Rev, is it? /S. No. Totally not.